I'm just trying to be a light in a world so dark. What's a brother to do? They call themselves the alt-right, but we know they're just a farce. They're undercover and smooth. But don't smother the groove. You gotta let it breathe. No matter what they tell us, we know we got propellers. Our strength is getting better, believe. Yeah. One time for the immigrants and Fugees. I do music cause the lady from the Fugees moved me to write movies on loose leaf. 2 degrees, now I kick it like I'm Bruce Lee. Usually I gotta move with the soul. And truthfully, I see the roof about to blow. A big bad wolf started huffing and puffing. And everybody thought he was buffing, but he wasn't. There's something in the water, keep your eyes up. Spirit moving and the temperature gonna rise up. Who you with? Who you with? Who be shining through you? I got Ella Baker, Harriet, and Shaka Zulu. And they be crawling on my clavicle. And they be stomping on my sternum, prompt heart moves radical. We dealing with some cartoon animals. But they got power, get your harpoon any doubt.
Yo, what's up everybody, this is Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw. We're here at One World Studios with AllHipHop.com and JP Reynolds. What's good?
What's good, baby?
How you doing?
Chilling, man.
Good to finally get this interview done.
Word.
We've been working on it for a minute.
Yeah.
After seeing you live, man, I was so impressed. I knew we were going to get it done.
Word,
you know, even though it took some time.
Yeah, nah,
so this is your introduction to All Hip Hop. So
yes.
First of all, tell people who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a lover of life and people, my folk. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, raised in Mount Vernon, New York. Mount Vernon to the death of me.
Okay.
I live in Harlem right now.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Spitting for the life music, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Talk about your music a little bit. Like now, when I saw you, you were from a live band. We were at the Mercury Room.
Yeah, the Mercury Lounge downtown.
Mercury Lounge, right.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience. It was a dope ambiance.
Yeah.
And the performance was just incredible.
Thank you.
First of all, just speak to your performance, and we'll get into the other parts of it later.
Yeah, I do perform with a live band. The band has grown since you saw it, actually. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was 5 pieces at that point. It was actually 4 pieces at that point. It grew to 5 pieces, and now it's 8. It's 8 pieces. We got 8 pieces. We got a horn section, an all women's horn section. Yeah, I wanted it to be an experience, right? I mean, I wanted to feel like a family reunion. I want to feel like peace and power. I want people to dance and have fun, get these bars, get these steps, get that funk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's interesting too. Like, I grew up always researching, always looking back to artists, and like Kane, Big Daddy Kane, like Heavy D was on some of the people that really, so, yo, they really dope. Big Daddy Kane would be like, I'm trying to be like James Brown on the stage.
Right.
You know, Heavy D was doing steps in yellow suits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's hometown too. So, yeah, that's kind of the imagination for it to be like a planet. People come to the planet.
Right. Shout out to Heavy D, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to him. What part of your career in life did Mount Vernon play as it factors into your music? Yeah,
Mount Vernon played a huge piece. I moved to Mount Vernon when I was young. My family moved here. My father had an opportunity. He had a magazine, and it took off in New York. And Mount Vernon, it was huge for me. That's why I got introduced to hip hop. I mean, and at that point, like DMX was like rolling down the street.
Yeah.
With the Rough Riders, Aaliyah was shooting videos down the street. At that point, it was still very New York centric hip hop, and the Locks was blowing up, and Bad Boy was steaming along, and you could hear it in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could hear it at Brush Park. I could hear it in my church. I heard it was just bubbling. It was just deeply inspirational. And Mount Vernon is like where I got a lot of my root for kind of my identity. So
Now, musically, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe your band and your sound?
Yeah, it's funny. So on my IG profile, it's like, imagine Jimi Hendrix had a baby with Lauryn Hill.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of presumptuous to kind of throw those names out. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's it a lot. I think there's a lot of range to it. You know, obviously it's hip hop, but I mean, my band has been deeply inspired by like the Roots, obviously, right? You mix hip hop with like live instrumentation. But yeah, man, I be trying to respect the craft and a performance, but also being an MC and moving the crowd and actually having things to say. So yeah, man, that's the way my music feels and sounds. I be talking about stuff, I have things to say. So
you have a lot of obviously bars is a factor, but you also have a lot to say in your music too. What inspires you to speak on social issues and what's going on in the community the way you do?
that's how I came up. I came up caring a lot about faith, caring a lot about social justice, caring a lot about community. And I think that reflects itself with the art I make, with the music I make. You know, I was trained, like in writing, I was actually trained in poetry, right? So like I was trained with, you know, 20th century African-American poets. So people like Michael Harper and Gwendolyn Brooks. And they always would give windows into what was going on, into the cities and the communities they're from. And that was always inspiring to me. You know, Lauryn Hill's another huge inspiration for me in terms of like how to actually situate your art and juxtapose it with what's going on in the world. Yeah, Simone, right? Like, how can you be an artist and not reflect the times?
Right.
So those are kind of my inspirations, and that's kind of why I do it the way I do it, I think.
Okay. Now, the one thing that's interesting to me, you know, you mentioned Lauryn Hill and others, not just her, but a lot of artists like that. Yeah. And then it seems like they get consumed almost with the burden of telling the truth, or the burden of reflecting the realities. Yeah. And then it becomes almost like overwhelming. That's how I feel. Yeah. Do you ever feel that way, or do you are you wary of moving forward in that way when you know that it's such a hard path?
I mean, that's the cost of being a truth teller, you know, and that's like, I've committed to that. And, you know, where I am right now, you know, sometimes it feels like you're screaming in the forest and wondering if anybody hears it. Yeah. But then when people start hearing it, they may come at you with the axes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a lot of self-work that I feel like I have to do, surrounding myself with the right people. Obviously, people like Lauryn Hill, people like Kanye, people like Lupe, you know, like they told us. I mean, Cole has it in his song, right? Like, you know, people are telling the truth about what it's like when you're a truth teller in this space. And I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to, you know, just kind of rely on grace too. Yeah. And you know what God has for me is for me, and I just got to be who I am and tell the truth I'm supposed to tell.
Okay. Now, lyrically, let's talk about that. You know, I have lots of conversations with people, and they always, you know, complaining, kind of grumpy. You know what I mean? But I also tell them that you need to open your eyes and your ears a little bit more and get in tune with what's going on right here, right now. But you're definitely one of those artists I feel represents what people might consider a lost art. And that means actually writing rhymes. So talk about your process and what inspires you to actually pursue that route, which is really the road less traveled. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to, you know, it's kind of easy to conform in this day and age, because you know you could get it popping pretty easily if you go a certain route.
Yeah, I mean, so there's two things to that, right? So like the first thing is that I think everybody's saying something. You don't always know how to listen to it. Right. You don't always know how to hear it. So the folks that are deemed or, you know, considered criticized for not saying anything, sometimes we got to listen differently. Sometimes they're saying it with what they're wearing. Sometimes they're saying it with, you know, how they're coming off. And we just got to be tuned to how to actually like receive that. Yeah. But then like my process is vessel work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's deeply vessel work for me. Like to open myself up to the images, the visions, the thoughts that have been poured into me from my own lifetime, from before my lifetime, from my offspring that are coming. Yeah. From my creator. Like it's very much vessel work for me. So, you know, trying to open the channel is a piece of it. And then just like, you know, kind of applying the skill sets that I've gained over the years to actually put the words together with what is happening in that vessel space. Okay, that's deep. I mean, I don't know, man. It sounds crazy, I guess, but it is what it is.
Nah, it's evolution. What do you feel about hip hop nowadays? How do you feel about it? Like, what are your thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of people making a lot of music. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's in terms of how it sounds like sonically, it's crazy. Yeah, people are doing so many things with melody and with vibration that is crazy. Right, and it's amazing time to be like a part of music. In general. I think we need balance. I think we're always in need of balance. Balance is really important, right? So like we have a lot of party, we have a lot of turn up, and that's important, right? We need to be free, we need to celebrate, we need to be able to, in some cases, especially for oppressed folks, be able to escape, you know, or be able to have a way out of reality even for a moment. Right, absolutely. At the same time, we need to also like, you know, that's some balance. This times where we need to be hearing something that's to feed our soul, you know. Sometimes we need daily bread. You know, sometimes we need food for thought.
Now, what's social media to you? I noticed you have a lot of messaging on your social media.
Oh man, what is social media? what is social media? social media is a trap. Nah. Again, this is another thing that's kind of like a gift and a challenge, right? Because in one token, you have this amazing platform and tool to reach directly to people who you are touching, right? So like, listeners can DM me, right? Like they can hit me up. They can, right? I'll probably respond, right? At the same time, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of performance. There's a lot of masks happening, right? I mean, I do it sometimes myself. I mean, it's part of the game, unfortunately. Yeah, and it's a hard place for a truth teller to lie. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just a lot of performance. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that like people do to get their views up, to get their followers up, and you know, again, balance. You know, need some balance. All of life shouldn't be entertainment, I think. Right,
no doubt. So, what's your most negative? What's your negative trait? You see
my negative trait?
Yeah. What do you got? Man. What is your vice?
My vice? Yeah. Oh, you get deep. My vice. Oh man, my vice. I don't think of my vices like that. I don't know, man. I like. Sometimes I don't know if this is a vice though. Some of these things I don't want to be like in an interview. Like my worst quality is I don't work too hard. You know
right.
I don't want to do that.
I was thinking just like
I don't want to do that.
I work too hard.
I don't want to do that. But I don't sleep. I mean, I don't sleep often. Yeah. It's not always the greatest. Sometimes when I do have a vision for something, I can get real crazy. Okay. And I've had to learn how to curb that over the years. Okay. Because it's not always effective, and it's just that's not how I want to be in life, right? I don't want to be a monster. I don't want to be like rude to people. Yeah. Or disrespectful, anything like that. So I've curbed it a lot. But I know that that's something that creeps up.
Oh, right,
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to get crazy. Right. I just want to, you know.
I've seen Lauryn Hill cut her eyes at the band like.
Yo. No, see the thing is never with my band. My band is so, and the thing is I'm in such a grateful space right now that it's hard for me to even get that way. Okay. Because like everything right now is sweat equity. It's all straight independent. It's all people believing in the vision and just rocking with me. Okay. And my band is great. The Peace and Power band. My band is crazy. Like I got players, bro. Like so I'm in such a space of gratitude, especially with anybody who's on my team. My art director, creative director, all those folks are like really. Right. Yeah. But there's been other instances in life where I know that that's a thing that I'm gonna have to watch. Right. Like as things continue to grow, it's like let me just, stay rooted, stay centered, stay in a place of gratitude. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the. I don't know. I hope that wasn't like the answer. Like
that was like telling the job yeah, I work too hard. That's my worst trait.
I don't know what I got for you, bro. Actually, you know what? If you listen, so I just dropped a joint called Mirror. Okay. And this is a song. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the Me Too movement. Yeah. And I didn't say much publicly because I didn't think I needed to be centered, right? Because it's a conversation that, as a male body person, like I didn't have to take over that conversation. Yeah. But a lot of folks are wondering, like, well, what about the good guys? Like, what about we're not doing that stuff? But then it occurred to me through my brother, actually, right? Like, yo, good guys are part of this rape culture too, and these are the ways that we've done it. Like stuff that we think is normal, right? Like go up to a girl and start dancing with her, right? Or you're in a movie theater with your homegirl back in the day, and you just start making moves, and it's like that's actually not cool. Even though we're supposedly good guys, we still contribute to this rape culture. And I talk about some of those experiences and vices in that song. Yeah. Just because even though I consider myself to be a person who's like progressive when it comes to sexual interactions and relationships and those types of things, is also like, yo, actually your record ain't that clean, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. So that's you can hear some of the vices on that joint. Okay. Some mistakes and just I guess reflection.
No doubt. We gotta check that one out. Yeah. Your father has a role in your career too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So like it's sort of like a family affair.
It's a family affair, man. My mom be making my outfits sometimes. You know what I'm saying? My pops does a lot of my booking, and my pops has done marketing for a long time. He has, like I said, he has a magazine, American Legacy magazine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's like a brilliant kind of marketer and brander, strategy kind of guy. But he never knew about booking. Like. Right. He didn't know how to do this, or at least I don't think this wasn't his profession. Right. But I get a lot of support from my parents and my community, and my pops like, I'll do this for the time being until we can get to another level. And yeah, like it's crazy. The first show I had that required me to get a band, he set it up where he took like a 10-second Instagram clip, sent it to all these venues in Harlem, and he came back and me like, well, we got 3 dates, but you need a band. I'm like, oh, word, I can finally activate the band.
Right.
So he just been making stuff happen and putting his love on it, and yeah, we still moving.
So how's it like being a married guy in this demonic industry?
This demonic industry.
That's my brother. That's what my brother calls the music game.
Hey, you know, I mean, I love it. My wife is amazing. My wife is also an actor, so we're both artists. We kind of understand like the grind, needing to go somewhere late at night, needing to go somewhere early in the morning, needing to be out of town for an extended period of time. Yeah. We kind of understand that. We've done a lot of work ourselves, right, to like prepare ourselves for what may come in terms of like any type of, you know, success. Yeah. And yeah, man, you just gotta have your box. You know what I'm saying? The box, ain't nobody getting in the box, ain't nobody touching the box. We got the box. You know, all that other stuff is for the birds. Because we right here with it. Trust, communication, open lines, all of that. Yeah. You know, we've learned how to grow and like work together as artists. Because we're both strong-willed artists. You know what I'm saying? So she's writing the play, and she want me to talk to like give her some feedback. I got to be like, you sure you want this feedback? Right. And vice versa. I'm like, I'm not really trying to play you this joint because you harsh. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sensitive about my stuff. I'm an artist. But it's been an amazing journey with her just in general. You know what I'm saying? She's a strong black woman, baby. Okay.
Yeah. That's what's up. Power to that.
Yeah, straight up.
Who are your top? Actually, let me check my thing.
You got a top 5?
Top 5. Top 5. I just want to make sure.
It's different every day. Let me.
Okay.
I'm just playing. It's not different every day.
Okay. All right.
And actually, is it different every day? You're not gonna do like a top 5 right now, right? Like,
you know what? We're gonna split it up real quick.
All right.
Your top 5 influences, and your top 5 present day.
Present day. It's got to be rap or anything.
Let's just do anything.
All right. Influences. All right. Let me see. Top 5 influences. Got to start with Lauryn Hill. Got to start with Jay-Z. I'll come back to so Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill, Prince. Okay. Jimi Hendrix for aesthetic purposes. I gotta throw one MC in there. I'm gonna go with Heavy D.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, that's the top 5 influences, and then present day. Oh man, that's a mixed bag right there. So these are artists I would also love to collab with.
Okay, holla.
I mean, Chance the Rapper's really dope. Yeah. I mean, I think obviously like Kendrick, really dope. I always thought Ab-Soul was really underrated. Yeah. I still think he's underrated. Yeah. You know, out of respect for Ab-Soul, I call myself Soul Brother number 3.
Oh, say word.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Pete Rock is Mount Vernon. Yeah. Soul Brother number 1.
Right.
Ab-Soul took the 2, so I'm like, I'll do 3. I'll do 3. You know what I'm saying?
We got to get all 3 of y'all on the radio. Get Pete to produce it, and you and yo.
Let's set that up, Chuck.
I'm a DM Pete Rock. Yo,
let's set that up, Chuck.
We gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen.
That would be crazy. What was that at? Was that 3? I think I was at 3. I said Ab-Soul, Kendrick, Chance, Cole, J. Cole.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw Lupe in there because Lupe is still current, right? I mean,
Lupe is
Tattoo
dope.
on Youth was crazy. I mean, that still is influencing me. His videos, Alex Nazari, his director, has been an influence. Like in terms of visual, that's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna throw Kanye in there for both. Yeah, just because you know. Yeah, it's yay.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
I mean, are we gonna do that? Are we gonna because we could go. I just look. It's similar to like I want Miss Hill back. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I want that old thing back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I just did this Kanye Madness bracket.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There's some joint online, some Kanye Madness bracket was, and I'm like, yo, he really has done so much. Yeah. And it was really hard to do that bracket.
I know.
It was really hard, bro. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Right.
So those are my. There's so many more. There's so many more.
Nah, that's good. That's good. We're gonna have to offline discuss Kanye.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, let's just quote in air quotes your generation, just air quotes that. Okay. A lot of people are saying you guys are ruining hip hop. What do you say to that?
Didn't everybody say that before? Like when it changed over, and didn't everybody get that?
Most people don't know that. Most people don't realize that.
Everybody got that. When Grandmaster Cat, like when them dudes was rocking, and then like didn't they say that too?
Yeah, you're right.
It's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? And there's always, if anything, hip hop is just continuing to expand and expand and expand. Mm-hmm. Like boom bap hasn't died.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can find it. You can get it. Trap is expanding, like his stuff is just expanding because there's more and more access to it.
Right.
So more and more people can create it. Mm-hmm. And more people are being creative. And it's like, yo, if you think somebody's killing it, then come up with something, make it live. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my response. It's like, well, I'm gonna just make what I think is dope. It's gonna be some instrumentation. You're gonna hear trumpets on tracks. You're gonna hear saxophones and drum joints that aren't just trap drums. Mm-hmm. You're gonna hear bass lines is crazy,
right? No
and then you're gonna hear it live from a real bassist, and that's like I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, people are free, bro. People got to be out here to be free, and if we got issues with what people are saying and what they're reflecting, then we need to go to the source,
right,
and address education in these hoods. We need to address the prison industrial complex. You know what I'm saying? We got to address abuse and all the privileges that exist. We got to address all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what is coming out.
Absolutely.
So how am I get mad at the homie for reflecting what he's living and not get mad at what he's living?
Right. Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's what I feel about it. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's next for JP Reynolds? What's next?
Man, I'm releasing a joint, at least one joint a month this whole year.
Okay.
At least trying to get through these colleges, do some shows with the Peace and Power Band, just continue growing, just keep writing. Yeah, I'm excited about this year though. These tracks I got coming out, I'm excited, bro.
Okay.
Got some new, some different sounds, expanding my voice. Like performing live has shown me more what my voice can do.
Okay.
So I've done some just more music and more vibes and more peace and power, man.
All right, that's love.
Yeah, man.
My brother.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.